I did.
Mr.
911 operators received a chilling call from Willoughby Hills, Ohio, on November 16, 2012, wherein a 13-year-old reported between sobs that her sister was stabbing her mum with a knife.
911, what's your emergency? What is going on? Hello?
My mom was a knife. She's shot her.
Who had the knife?
My sister.
As soon as the first responders arrived at the site, they found 18-year-old Sabrina Zunick walking out of the bedroom with a 12-inch bread knife, dripping with blood. Naturally, Sabrina was the primary suspect in the murder of 41-year-old Lisa Knofel. All this time, Megan and Haley, Lisa's 13 and 3-year-old daughters, were inside the house, while her husband was away on a business trip. But how did it come to this? Why would Sabrina, who was supposed to be part of the family, commit such a heinous act against her foster mother? Trust me, you'll need to watch until the end to discover the truth. You may find it hard to believe. 10 hours after the murder, Sabrina is brought in for questioning and asked about the events of last night.
Line, please. You remember me, right?
Having seen her with the bloody knife, the detectives already know that Zunick was responsible for the murder, but what they want to know is why. But the teen refuses to cooperate and lists out her usual activities while denying that anything out of the ordinary happened.
What do you recall?
From yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Getting done with my homework? Going, I don't know, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bed.
And we're at home.
Mm-hmm.
What, anything unusual happen?
I don't know.
Seeing that Sabrina wanted to pretend like she didn't remember, the detectives tried a new approach by trying to find out the family dynamics.
How do you get along with Kevin?
Kevin's a miracle. I mean, he's more the one that helps me out. Because this has Megan to deal with, and so we made agreements a long time ago that if I need anything, that I can go to Kevin.
How about, with Lisa? How are you dealing with her?
Me and Lisa have never been the best.
While her dislike isn't a sufficient motive for murder just yet, the detectives have found an opening.
What's your thoughts on how Lisa is not alive now?
What?
Sabrina's response is rather unexpected, and you might have noticed that this is the first instance when her pitch has gone up after the casual tone she has been using. Her confusion only grows from there when the detective informs her about the events of last night. It looks like Sabrina has snapped out of a trance, and she even sounds disturbed while asking for confirmation.
Oh, you had a knife. You stabbed Lisa.
I did.
Mr.
But note that while she may have raised a question, she does not deny that she committed the murder at any point. As the investigation unfolded, detectives delved into Sabrina's troubled past, trying to piece together the puzzle behind the murder. The chain of texts between Sabrina and her foster father, Kevin, led to the investigation of his involvement in the murder, who only agreed to an interview in the presence of his lawyer. The detectives agreed to question him on his wife's work, hoping that he would provide some clues about what had been going on in the house.
Kevin, do you know anything that was happening at the house?
Kevin's attorney blocks any questions outside the scope of Lisa's work, but his body language hints at how little he really cares about this matter.
Were you and Lisa in the process of going through a divorce?
Okay, now we're getting outside the scope.
After 6 months in police custody, Sabrina agreed to talk to the prosecutor. During her proffer session, Sabrina revealed none other than her foster father, Kevin, as the mastermind behind the plan to murder Lisa. She also shared the unsettling truth about the secret relationship she had with Kevin. As their sexual relationship progressed, the Knofels' marriage hit a rough patch. Kevin convinced Sabrina to do the unimaginable, murder Lisa. Well, he had his eyes set on getting full custody of their 3-year-old daughter, Haley, and a boatload of cash from Lisa's insurance, a whopping $750,000. Believe it or not, Kevin even reassured Sabrina that she wouldn't face more than 5 years behind bars since she was just a minor. He painted a picture-perfect future for their little family of 3. Filled with love and happiness. Something Sabrina had only dreamed of in her tumultuous upbringing, Kevin was ultimately sentenced to life in prison and an additional 12 years for a sexual relationship with a minor. That's all for this video. Let us know your thoughts on this riveting case.